Today we have Shabir Ali from Ooredoo with us. We are going to talk about user retention and the key challenges faced by the industry. It would be awesome, Shabir, if you could quickly introduce yourself.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for this opportunity. Yes, definitely, I would love to speak about the subject because it's not only us; it's almost across the globe. Everybody is facing the same issue. So it's in terms of the user experience. Uh, I was speaking earlier to him as well that we major challenges that we talk about the digital transformation, we talk about the user customer experience enhancements and personalization. But however, it's I would say it's a step number 3 or 4 in the ladder. It's supposed to be start with the fundamentals. The fundamental is like you should have data centralized. So with many opcos in the world, like the major challenge is that they have a data in the organizations, and they are quite optimistic, and they're in terms of monetization, in terms of enhancing the customer experience. However, the question comes that is this data is centrally connected? Because once you have a data connected, and you can make a data set, you can segmentize it, and then you can personalize based on the each segment. Now the question, in reality,
So essentially, data silos.
correct. So data is in silos. Like if I call customer care, I'm a new customer, right? If I go to any store in person, so I'm totally again a new guy. If I call operation guy, so again a new guy. So every time I have to introduce myself, who am I? So if I go to stores, they don't know. Till the time I explain myself, I provide my identity, and this is my account number, and they okay. Even though they have no visibility why I'm here. Could be the case that I'm here because of the services, the outages in the services. It's operation data, or maybe you have issues on billings. So for them, it's I'm a totally brand new guy, despite the fact I'm going multiple times in a month or multiple times in a quarter. So every time they recognize me as a new customer. So the frustration come in the picture. Okay, now every time either you go for in-store or you call the IVR, you have to follow all the process step by steps. So even if you call some banks, you have to follow the IVR. So this is the biggest challenge, that you have silos in the organization plus silos within silos. For example, we talk about digital transformation, digital experience. So people who has social media team in the organization, but the person who's replying on social media is a different team, and the person who's replying on the chatbot or replying on the in-person social media chat forum is totally different. So they are again, it says silos in the organization, silos within the silos. This is the biggest challenge in the current engagement model. So first thing, you should have centralized data in place. Based on data, you can segmentize it, and you can start understanding the patterns of data to understand the behaviors of the individual, and then you go for personalizations. That will be ideal. But it's I say it's not, we are not yet this stage globally. So maybe some people are there, but that they are more or less facing the same kind of challenges here.
So I have one more question here then. I think I'm changing or diverting from what we would have wanted to talk to you about. But in that case, would a telecom, over and above personalization and working on those details of mitigating those data silos, would the latter work on in isolation on user acquisition or user retention, or both? How would you see that funnel working?
Well, if let's say the shoes of the stakeholders of opcos or the one of the key person opco business, for me both are quite important for it, because I want to retain the customers. Because for me, I have one of the KPI for as Exco to reduce the churn rates. The second thing, in parallel, I want to more acquire the business, right? So I want to expand my business across the nation or across the country. That's because I want not only acquiring the business, also retaining. So both of them are quite important for me. So it doesn't make sense if I say the marketing or guy, a sales guy goes, okay, we have acquired 1 million new subscribers in a month last year, and other end you say a similar amount are being churned out. So doesn't make any sense. So for me, as opco, any single opco and the management, it matters both. You have to retain the existing customers. Plus, on top of that, you can also acquire more customers. Plus, there was a study in Harvard, and it says if your customer is not satisfied with you, so this customer will convince six more customers to churn out from you. So
that's very interesting.
It's more about perception. See, customer experience is perception. Perception means that as a customer, my touch points, right? I'm touching with you through social media, in person, on the IVR. So how do I hear from you? How do I listen from you? How do I feel from you? These are the customer experience. So these are perceptions. So perception, you cannot control my perception. So my perception can give influence some other people in my community. So despite the fact maybe the other consumer is not facing the similar challenge which I'm facing, but he says, oh, this colleague, my fellow is facing some kind of challenge with this opco. It could be the case I'm the next one. So Howard says that one customer, unhappy customer, can also
influence six
others, your existing customers.
And how would be the best way to go about reducing this churn rate in the current digital era?
The ideally you should have a centralized data. You have the data sets segmentized. Top of that, you have data patterns, and you have personalized the customer experience. So whenever I land on your landing page, every time the page should be different as per my behavior. Like I give you an example. Like there's an example in the world. Like if you every time you log into Spotify, or you log into SoundCloud, or you log into the Netflix, or you log into the YouTube. So the system knows what are your preferences. So YouTube gives you the same channels which you have subscribed in the past. Or Netflix recommend you the same kind of movies. Like you love to watch the action movies. So Netflix gives you the recommendation of the action movies, which is the new ones. Personalizations. So that's the way. So you have to address the customers based on his experience. That's my opinion solution for that.
That's pretty awesome. Thanks a lot, Shabir. Thank you for spending this time with us
You're welcome.
at Telecom.
Thanks for
Thank you.
Thank you.